As usual, I am a little bit... Be quiet, thank you. Dog's driving me nuts tonight. Just going to set the old computer up. Stop barking. So I can see what we're doing. Is anyone in the house? We've got one person in the house. Who is in the house? Don't know how long I'm going to last tonight. I am full of flu again. And my laptop is lagging. Who's there? Stop it. Stop barking. Very disobedient dog. Who is there? Who is there? Introduce yourself. Speak now. Forever hold your peace. It says on my laptop 2 are watching, but it says on my phone 1 is watching. Very confusing. But I'd like to think there's 2 for the price of 1. We're nearly in business. Right, we are in business. I've got my chat. I've got a puppy at my feet. I've got a cat on my lap. I've got an angry girlfriend in the other room. So there we go. Right, here we are. Jim Pendergast. Hi, Simon. Jim Pendergast. Very hot in Richmond today. 32 degrees, possibly 36 tomorrow. Need to go to the Philippines to cool down. Jim, wow. Got #1 crown for 5. Not surprised, mate. It is a very, very confused day. We've got a tosser in here just to start things off. So I will remove him. Right, so there we go. Who else is here? 9 in the house now. Now we're cooking on gas. Don't know what's going on there, Jim. You must have had a conversation with yourself, mate. I messaged you in the other live because I got a message saying could hear me loud and clear, but that was from last week. But yes, you do have the #1 crown. 2 likes. What more could I want? Who else is there? Who else is there? Jim Pendergast, how is the aircon? Can you hear the aircon? The aircon is actually going away, mate. Got it fixed. They put it in last week. Brand new one. They couldn't fix the other one, or they could have fixed it, but the landlord went with a new one. So we've got a brand new one. And it's very effective. Haven't really been using it much because we don't tend to in the living room, but it is perfect for a live. But I'm getting a bit cold. I think I have to switch it off. There you go. Living the life. Hey, Simon, joining you from Jamaica today. From Jamaica? Is that from Jamaica? Wow. I have never been to Jamaica. If that is Jamaica, what are you doing there, Sean? Welcome to the party. It's called TCL, this one. Don't think it's a particularly good brand, but it is very effective. But then again, it's brand new, so I suppose one would expect it to be. I'm switching it back on now. It got warm very quickly. I think the mistake I'm making is I've got it on 16. I should probably have it slightly higher. There we go. Hey, Wendy's in the house. Wendy from Ontario. How are you, Wendy? What is the word on the street? How's things? Put Philippine vlogging wars as first shots fired. I was going to criticise some vloggers. I've spent today. I was running out of things to talk about. I was going to go out and do a walk and a talk, but the wind was so bad and it just wasn't a conducive day for vlogging outside. So I did what I never do. I watched some Philippine vlogs. And my God, there are some people talking a lot of bollocks on these vlogs. Stating opinions as facts. I found it very annoying and I thought, I'm gonna take exception to this. I'm gonna name some people. Now I don't know. Now I might just change the title. It's not really my style, but I was quite annoyed by some of the advice some of these people were giving because they clearly didn't have a clue what they were talking about. Jim Pendergast, how was your breakaway, Simon? It wasn't good. It wasn't good. I'll say no more on it. It wasn't a successful trip. Yeah. Lots and lots of things went wrong. Living a life. I'm seeing old friends. How was Sikihor? I very much like a little Jamaica minus the obvious. Dear oh dear. So you are in Jamaica. God, you're a jet setter, you aren't you? It's very much like a little Jamaica minus obvious. It can't be that obvious, mate. I'm confused. I don't know what that means. I'm seeing old friends. How was Sikihor? Living the life. The smoke. There we go. There we go. How long are you there for? I'm still confused. Are you actually in Jamaica? It's not. You probably are, aren't you? Because it's not that far to go from America. When you saw us, I'm going back to the East Coast in 3 weeks, getting sick of Ontario, and I miss the ocean. Well, safe journey. Case, leave the kitten alone. Leave the kitten alone. There you go. Can you come up here, baby? He gets a bit rough with her sometimes. Well, safe journey. Shame you've got to wait 3 weeks, but I'm sure it will fly by. I've never been to Canada. When will it start to get really cold there? I started talking to my uncle again. I haven't spoken to him for years. But that's tell a lie. I saw him about 3 years ago when he was visiting my mother, last time I was back in the UK. But I hadn't seen him for about 10, 15 years before then. And we were very close when I was younger, but he lives in Canada. You know, didn't fall out or anything, just lost contact. But and he messaged me on WhatsApp about 3 or 4 months ago, and we talk quite regularly now. Yeah, I should go and visit him at some stage. Not sure where he lives though. Adam Fente, hey Simon, good to catch you live. It's nice to have you on here, Adam. Welcome, welcome. These animals seem determined to smash the house up tonight. Ellen's in the other room, so I can't call her for assistance, but they're driving me nuts. Jim Pendergast, hi Adam, hope you're good. Yes. Hey Jim, glad to see you on the live tonight. Now, how was your flight back, Jim? And where were those scooters? I did like those posts with the Lambrettas. I didn't know you were a scooter man, mate. Case, come here. Case, come here. Living a life, yeah man, in Negril, Jamaica this week. Beautiful here, so no Sikihor stories. Yeah, no Sikihor stories, mate, no Sikihor stories. It was, yeah, there was, let's just say there was friction in the camp, and it has changed. The place has gone downhill, I will tell you that. It is not the Sikihor I left. It has been spoilt in many ways. It was not a good trip. It's not me, I think everyone that went thinks that. But you live and learn. Jim Pendergast, it was a good flight. Well, I'm very glad to hear that, Jim. Emirates, wasn't it? Was it Emirates or was it Qatar that you flew back with? Never been to Jamaica, never been to Negril. Is it nice over there? I've heard a lot of people say it's incredibly dangerous, but presumably that's if you go into the townships. Do they call them townships over there? I know they do in South Africa. Do you feel safe there, Sean? Is it safe, or do you stay in your resort or in people's houses? I know it used to have really high murder rates, but maybe they've cleaned it up. So I've never been to the West Indies. I asked Ellen a couple of weeks ago if she fancied going there at some stage, and she had no interest. Jim Pendergast, scooters at Twickenham have 60 days every year. Really? Oh, have a 60s day. Oh, it's 60 days. Oh, that's a long festival. There we go. Jim, Qatar Airlines. They are a good airline, Jim. Mind you, I think we spoke about that before, didn't we? Were you on the last live? When did you get back? I'm not on best form tonight. I'm trying to get it together, but I'm not feeling well. I'm kind of out of it. I feel a bit stoned, but I haven't taken anything to make me stoned. So if you're getting pauses and things and me just staring at the screen, it's because I'm struggling to get with the program. I take it the sound is all right. Adam, how's life in? I don't know why I'm shouting. Don't know why I raised my voice then to talk to you, Adam. How is Da Nang? Are you still having the time of your life? Jim got back 2 weeks ago. Is it that long? Wow. Wow. I didn't know it was 2 weeks ago. If you'd asked me, I said it was a week at the most. Wow. Do you know when you're returning yet? It's amazing. I just banned that guy, kicked him out. I know how to do it now, but I'm surprised they don't invent other ones and come back again. It seems quite easy to get rid of these trolls. You just press the hide from channel and they're gone. I've watched lives on West Ham things before where they keep coming back and they keep changing their profiles and they're there. They obviously don't decide, I'm obviously not worth bothering with. Sean, I've been coming here for 34 years. It's not dangerous at all. I only hang out with locals mostly. All places have their no-go zones. Really? So it's a bit of a myth, is it? That it's a really dangerous place? 34 years. You don't look old enough, Sean. What brings you back there then? What do you like about it other than friends? Jim, probably May, but nothing planned yet. Wow, that's nearly a year away. I thought you'd be back before then. Wow. There you go. Mind you, if you're having fun in Richmond and you got your Lambrettas and things to... did you have a scooter in your youth, Jim? Do you have a scooter now? Adam Fente, life in Da Nang is easy mode, but I feel myself lazy here. Not doing much since the rain season started. Just had another visa run last week. It's making me consider PH again next year. How are the visa runs going? Are you getting any crap when you cross the border? I mean, it's just quite smooth, is it? And do you actually have to cross the border? Is there no agencies that would, like, you know, post it over and do it that way, that they actually make you go over, do they? No way round that, have you asked? I kind of have it in... Living the life, incredibly beautiful weather, crystal clear Wat. I'm betting that was water. He's retracted his message. I know you didn't mean crystal clean energy. Didn't have to do that, Sean. I got what you were saying. Crystal clear water. Water. There we go. Jim's number one. Adam is number... I've got two number threes. Who's number two? Living the life is number... Well, it's amazing. I've got one crown, a 3 crown, and 2 3 crowns, no 2 crown. It's a strange system. We're missing a few tonight. It's amazing how when I pop regular guy's name in the title, you get like 1,000 more people. It's incredible how popular that guy is. In terms of, like, you know, people just mentioning his name. And because of that, I decided not to do any more videos on him. Because I've noticed so many people are, like, talking about it and putting the name just to get views, and I don't want to be accused of doing that. So I've decided not to talk about him. But I might mention him on the live tonight, because he's pissed me off a bit, to be honest with you. Jim Pendergast, yes, but changed my loyalty from mod to rocket on many occasions. You can't do that, Jim. Once a mod, always a mod. What would you want to be a greaser for? That's no good, mate. Disappointed in you, Jim. Disappointed, mate. Sean says, living food, great food and kind people. Is the food great? I've had the old, I've had curried goat. I know they do jerk chicken. It's rice and peas and that kind of thing, isn't it? Is it varied, or is it all kind of like barbecued meat in a jerk sauce? Well, I suppose there's a lot of fish, isn't there? They must have like red snapper and things like that over there, I suppose. It's there's quite a lot of West Indian restaurants in London. Don't know if there's any in the Philippines, but whenever I've eaten them many times, and they all seem to be the same kind of thing. You know what I mean? Maybe I should have branched out more, but a lot of dumplings and a lot of, like, you know, say spicy beef and peas and beans and rice and that kind of stuff. Adam, I pay the agency so they organise the bus visa, etc. The visa companies are pretty clean, so I do have to go ahead and cross the border myself. That's a shame. Art Park Garden, call blimey, look what the cat dragged in. It's funny, I was just thinking of your lives and here you are. How are you and the lovely Ellen? I'm not very well, and Ellen is in the bedroom, but she says hello. I'm sure she says hello. How's life with you, Art Park? Adam Fente, but I think Da Nang is getting a bit crowded. Not the same as it was when I visited 2 years ago. Well, that is the trouble. That is the trouble with places when they take off. It really is, isn't it? I know a guy who's just been to Da Nang for a few months. He came back a few weeks ago, and he was saying how it's so much more expensive than Dumaguete. That it used to be cheap, but it's really expensive now. Is that right? It wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't, because he's not the sharpest tool in the box. He tends to overpay for everything. So it wouldn't surprise me if he was going to expensive places, or just going to the wrong places. But he said he was amazed how expensive Da Nang was compared to how it used to be. Jim Pendergrass, don't like regular guy with baby Rooney, he's so childish. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I know he's very Marmite. I know a lot of people like him, a lot of people hate him, a lot of people. I've never minded Scott. It's just because I spoke about him on the last live, I kind of followed what was going on a little bit, and it just strikes me he's in bloody denial. It's like, he's done nothing wrong. It's like, he's been picked on, and the reasons he's getting kicked out are this and that, when they're not. A few people have sent me messages saying, what's happened with him here and there, and the things he's done and that. So you just think, mate, I mean, I don't wish harm on anyone, but it's amazing how these people refuse to accept, the error of their ways, and how they seem to wallow in self-pity. It's actually got me thinking about stopping YouTube, to be honest with you, because a lot of people just seem to sell their souls. They just make dramas out of their lives and that just to get views. I think it's degrading. Anyway, I'm not thinking straight at the moment. But I'm starting to think that he's made the whole thing up. It's just, I'm not watching anymore. I watched about 3-4 of his videos. They really annoyed me. Living the life. Glad to see regular gay go. He's a complete fucktard. Well, don't sit on the fence, mate. He hasn't actually gone yet, has he? Adam Fente, foreigners are not doing market research on rentals and are comparing prices to back home. Big issue, in my opinion. Airbnb has hotels creeping up this year, but I think it will fade off once rain ramps up more. Yeah, I tell you what, I've noticed prices went through the roof here in the rentals and that a few months ago, but I had a look the other day and they seem to be dropping back to not far off what they were a year ago. I think people just got greedy. I think they do. I think they try and ramp it up, and but yeah, I haven't been looking in any great detail. I looked a couple of times, and the ones that I looked at seem to be a lot more reasonable. I'm not getting on very well with this aircon. It's getting too cold, so now I switch it off, and then it gets hot very quickly. So I'm just going to pop a fan on. If you excuse me a second, please. British Filipina, Mayong Gabby Simon from a 30 centigrade in Cornwall. Ignore the trolls, steer clear from low energy people, and everything else takes care of itself. Hope you're well, mate. Cornwall, whereabouts in Cornwall? Pray tell more. It's nice that you could join us, mate. I love Cornwall. I used to love Cornwall. My parents used to live in Cornwall, just outside Loo. Now, trolls. I've not been bothered by trolls. I get very few trolls, and now I just hide them from the channel. I had fun with one on the last video, though. What an absolute... Some of these people are just idiots. It's extraordinary. I had one, he turned around in the comments the other way. I might start doing a right to reply, just answer, because I can't be bothered typing with them. But he basically said that Dumaguete was so overgrown with, so many of us expats here and blah, 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 blah. Why would anyone want to live there? To which I replied, you've clearly never been here then. To which he replied, I don't need to have been. So the guy hasn't been there. So the guy hasn't been here. And I could tell he hadn't been here. He said, but he knows enough from watching, you know, vlogs and there's so many people and all the rest of it. To which I replied, yeah, told you hadn't been here. You know, so you don't know what you're talking about. To which he comes back, I still can't work my head around it, $7,000 a month villa by the sea. What have you got? And you just think, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was in stitches. I mean, what is wrong? I mean, it's like, you know, they just melt so easily. I mean, why are people making comments about a place they've never been to? I mean, he could have just said he had been here, but he was too thick to even do that. I tell you, I would like to come across a troll who's worthy of, you know, you can have a bit of banter with, but they're all so bad at it. It's extraordinary. Art Park Garden, just packing in, working in a couple of weeks. Can't wait. Well, the good news is, well, the bad news is you're going to have to wait. The good news is 2 weeks will fly by, mate. It will fly by. There'll be no looking back. British Filipino, Truro. Really, Truro. There we go. It's in the coasts. Not spent a lot of time in Truro. I've been there a couple of times, but I don't know it as well as I do some of the other places. I'm losing my memory. I was about to say, I was at RF St Morgan for a while, and I had many a great night out in Newquay. But just then, I couldn't remember the name of Newquay. I'm sitting there thinking, what the hell is that town called? You know, it's incredible how my memory's going. But I don't think it's dementia, because dementia is your short-term memory that goes first. My short-term memory is all right, I think. What did I just say? Yeah, but my long-term memory's screwed when it comes to names, particularly when I've had a drink. I like my boxing, and people will talk to me about boxing. Sometimes they'll ask me questions that I've had a drink, and I just cannot remember fighters' names anymore. Living a life, yes, from what I've seen, the rental prices seem to have dropped somewhat. Yeah, they seem to. They seem to have gone back, and they did go crazy for like about 3 months, and the same houses were just not being rented. So there you go. It takes a while for the penny to drop. Art Park Garden, that's a problem with YouTube. If you really want to make serious documentary or film type videos, it's unlikely you'll get the views. You have to do the flashy thumbnails and shocking titles. Yeah, you just have to talk. You know, it's just, you know what I mean? It's just so many of them. I watched a few today, and it's like, you know, it's just like these people don't, it's like, I'm going to name one, Gio being a classic example. You know, these people think they're experts on anything and everything. When he went over to Thailand, you know, I did a video saying about Thailand, you know, Doomy Getty comparing the two. And I got all these comments from people saying, you're wrong. Gio says this, Gio says that, Gio says this. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, Gio's only been there for like fucking 4 weeks from what I can see. Take it from someone who was there nearly 8 years. He'll change his mind in a little while. It's not the, you know, the nirvana he thinks it is. It's not the utopia he thinks he's found. And he's wrong about the prices. And then you get it and you get it again. And I watch his video saying how fantastic it was. And the Philippines is the death of 1,000 cuts. And there's another vlog along the same thing. And you just look at it and think, what are you talking about? And then 6 months later, back in the Philippines. Expert, you know, it's like, you know, I sometimes I try not to give advice, and I try to only talk about things that I think I have a fair knowledge of. If I don't have a fair knowledge of it, I won't say it. It's like when people ask me, you know, where should I go? Where should I do this? I'm quite open about the fact I haven't been there or whatever. But there seem to be so many of these channels, these people who have been somewhere for like 3 days and they're suddenly experts on it and they know this, they know that, and they can give people life advice and come here and turn your back on that. It's just, God, I'm not watching anymore. It's because I've been sick and I've not really gone out, missed the quiz for the last couple of nights, a couple of days. I've been watching some stuff and it's put me off YouTube forever. Jim Pendergast, everybody waiting for the eclipse here, completely run out of eclipse glasses. I didn't even know there was an eclipse coming. Is there an eclipse coming? Will we see it here? When is it, Jim? Well, he probably won't because he'll right the other side of the road. Rob, does Christmas start there yet? Hello, Rob. Welcome to the party, mate. Nice to see you again. It's September. I think September they say it starts. We actually were in the shopping. We don't really go to malls, but we started more recently because we usually shop at LP Hyper, but we both decided that we kind of like Robinsons now, a bit more than LP. We go through stages. So we started going to the supermarket in the shopping mall. So I have been there, the mall, probably more times in the last 3 weeks than I have been in the last 3 years. I have not seen any Christmas decorations, but I have not been looking, and I'm not a very observant person. But September's what people say usually, and we are still in August. Andrew sees Game on 4 Eyes. Where's John Connor? Right. Okay. Andrew sees the Liquid Terminator. You're a spitting image, mate. You reckon? I don't think so. Don't think so at all. But I'll take that. I can't remember what the actor's name is. I'm just going to let the dogs out. Let the dogs out. Dog out, singular, not plural. He's making a noise. You want to go out, son? Go on. Good boy. Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard that before, but I'll take it. Particularly as he was quite young in the movie. And I'm an old man now. Living a life, Gio, is incredibly boring. Yeah, well, listen, mate, so am I. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you've got to think, I mean, this is the thing. You know, he's got a huge following. A lot of people like him. But yeah, I found that. And I should be careful what I say, but to be honest with you, I don't really give a fuck at the moment. When I'm feeling sick, I'm like very much, you know, fuck the world. I'm swearing more than usual. You know what I mean? I'm snapping at Ellen I shouldn't do. But, you know, it's, yeah, I'm a grumpy man when I'm sick. But anyway, what I'm getting at is I know a couple of people who are... This is it. The night just gets better. We have a brownout, boys and girls. There have been brownouts for the last... there's a problem with the power grid. And we were told there might be one tonight because... so this is typical of the Philippines, right? There is a problem. So they will tell you on their website that there is a problem, and there may be a problem between certain hours, and I think it was between now and 8 o'clock tonight that there might be a problem, but they won't tell you where they're going to switch it off. And what they do is they rotate the areas, but they must know which areas are going to rotate. And we only knew that there's a Facebook group called NORAC2, concerned customers or whatever, and people get very active and they moan about stuff and that. And they're the ones that are giving you information saying, oh, we've been told there may be brownouts today on the island of Negros. But no indications when and where. I think it was, there could be brownouts on the island of Negros between 2 and 8 o'clock tonight. So, yeah, it's just a bag of shit. You know, it's like, you know, how hard would it be to say we're going to do it here, we're going to do it there? But the thing is, we're quite well prepared these days. We've got battery chargers, we've got a UPS, so even though there's a brownout, the internet hasn't gone off. So I can carry on regardless. Today, Eclipse 7. Oh, the eclipse is at 7 p.m. tonight. I'll have to try and work out what that time is on our thing. I doubt we'll see it over here. Jim Pentwell, it'll be night time, won't it? So we won't. Jim, 7:16 p.m., 96% here in London. Really? Andrew C said something, which I think Adam found very funny. Andrew C says Skynet. Yes, could be Skynet. Could be. Tell you that film, those Terminator films, they were visionary. It's coming. AI is coming for us. David Watch, you should tell a spooky story. I should do, but I'd probably scare myself. I saw a ghost once. I could tell you about that, but who would be interested? Adam Fente, David Watch 7654. Great minds think alike. Oh, there you go. Ghost story one. Lee Robert, do you sit outside during brownouts? Not really. Not really. I suppose we don't really get them here for very long. I don't expect this one to last more than about 20 minutes, half an hour. If I did, I'd start thinking about plugging things in, because we've got the generator outside, but I'm not going to muck about, and I haven't got the lead for it yet anyway to plug the things in. But we've got like a 500 watt battery thing which we can put fans and lights and that on. But sod's law, as soon as I get up to go and get them, it will come back on again. But I mean, I will start that. But I mean, Ellen tends to more than me. You know, if we have one during the day, she might go and sit outside if it's cooler and use her phone. And we do sometimes, but so we haven't had, we've had hardly any here until the last couple of weeks. And it has brought, check this out for an amazing thing, because this kind of shit has really pissed me off recently. Because I started reading this Norarco page group. Let's call it the Norarco 2 customers group. And the president, Marcos, has basically said that the companies have to stop charging a loss fee on the bills. And what they do over here, they know that electricity is getting stolen. They know that they're losing it through the thing. So like, you know, out in the UK, you know, if someone taps into the electricity and they start stealing it, you know, the electricity companies look out for it and they find you, they'll catch you, they'll arrest you. In the Philippines, they don't bother. They just call it a loss charge, and they work out what they have lost, you know, how many millions of pesos they've lost each month through theft or wastage or whatever. And they just add it on to the paying people's bills, and they call it the loss fee. So we're basically paying, so they don't have any teams to check for theft or go round doing, because why would they bother? Because they don't lose any money. So yeah, you get your unit fee, and then you get on your bill whacked on like, I don't know, 700-800 pesos for lost power, which is what they've stolen. And Marcos has said that they've got to stop doing that. It's not fair that people should pay it. They should look after it. To which they are saying that but it will cost them more. But I mean, it's like that. There is no incentive for them to fix or do anything, is there? If they, you know, anything that's wasted, they just bill the customers. And it's a monopoly. You can't have, that's the only provider. You've got no way of getting around it. God, I shouldn't read these things. There's a few other things I'm not going to go on. It's not good for my blood pressure. But it is shocking. Adam Fente, lost fee, totally disgusting. Were you aware of that? Are you aware of that, Adam? Did you know that already? It was news to me. It's just that our bill came in this month, and it was the highest it's ever been by a long way. And I don't know why. So I said to the landlord, you know, this bill's very high, and he wouldn't be doing anything dodgy. But the trouble is, the house next door, it turned out a few months ago, some of the things we were running in here were wired into next door, which obviously our neighbour quite understandably wasn't happy about, because our ceiling fans were running off his electricity, so he was paying for them. So the owner got the guys to come round and rewire it and change it all. And then a month later, suddenly our bill has gone through the roof. We've used less electricity this month. So I was like, how can this be? How can I have had the highest bill I've ever had in the Philippines? Are you sure they haven't wired it so something next door is running? Anyway, and that got me looking on the Narco thing. So I've been spending my times winding myself up looking at electricity bills, because a lot of people on this thing are saying how their bills have gone sky high. And there's another fee they've added this month. I can't remember what they call it, which has never been on there before, which is like another 600-700 pesos. Can't remember the term for it, but it's outrageous. RLV. Brown out because there's a Visayas red grid alert earlier per the National Grid Corps of the Philippines. Yes, my friend. Welcome to the party. Yes, we saw that, but we didn't know where it was going to be. They had like an orange zone earlier on, didn't they? And they said it was going to be red, I think, between 2 and 8 o'clock. So hopefully it won't be for much longer. Dion Ashman, hey mate, wondering if you were coming to try it out in the PH and wanted to settle down age 46. Wondering if you were coming to try it out in the PH and wanted to settle down age 46. Do you have any opinions on the Philippines loop? You'll have to enlighten me on what the Philippines loop is, mate. I'm a bit under the weather, so I'm struggling to make sense of a lot of things tonight. You're wondering if I was coming to try out in the Philippines and wanted to settle down. Do you mean if you were trying to come in the Philippines and you're age 46? If you expand on that answer, that question, I will gladly answer it. But I can't really make sense of it, mate, to be honest with you. Jim Pentecost, do you need a degree in mathematics to understand the electric bill in the Philippines? Oh, mate, yeah, it's definitely designed to blind you with science. But that's the beauty of AI. I have been very disparaging of AI in terms of getting questions for trivia quizzes and all that kind of stuff. Might be my last quiz tonight. I'm thinking of tomorrow. I'm jumping from subject to subject. I'm thinking of knocking the quiz on the head. But we will see. But yeah, I tell you what AI is brilliant for. When you see these things on the bill, you just Google in, what does this mean? And it tells you exactly what it is. Tells you what these charges mean and all the rest of it. You know, a few things, like my glasses broke yesterday, and the thing has snapped on the side of them. And it's like, you know, you type in, where can I get them fixed? And they say, what's the problem? And I told them, and they told me to go to the place I get my watch serviced because they've got welding tools there that can fix it. It's amazing. I know I'm slow to the party, and some of you have been using AI for years, but for some things, it's bloody useful. Adam Fente, there's a lot of greed in the corporations, but they are protecting the consumer in the PH. I figured they are stealing electricity and using it for the elite operations. Oh, I thought you said they are protecting us. Are you sure they are? Yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot of greed in the corporations, but they aren't protecting the consumer in the PH. I figured they are stealing electricity and using it for the elite. Well, I don't know what they do, but you're right. There is no consumer protection over here. It really is shocking compared to what you're used to. You know, Diana Ashman's, the Philippines loop is a bike tour around the Philippines, and yes, me coming over. Appreciate you taking the time, mate. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm not a biker. I have a scooter, but I use it to get from A to B. So sorry mate, I've not even heard of the Philippines loop, but maybe someone in the comments is a biker and they can ask, you know, you can tell them about it. But yeah, sorry, but 46 is a good age to come here. So would that be for a long holiday or the move? Living the life, don't quit the quiz. That wouldn't be the same without you. No, it'd be different. Someone else would do it. I mean, yeah, well, I don't know, mate. I tell you, I don't mind saying it. A team has been cheating, and they've been using AI. And I have found out about it, and other people have, everyone knows about it now. And I'm very annoyed about it. I class it as stealing because it's been in the millionaire and all the rest of it. And, you know, they're not actually here at the moment, but they're back next week. And I just can't be bothered putting all the work, you know, into a quiz when people are going to mug you off and cheat. You know, it's, you know, I think it's a case of either them or me. But I don't know. Anyway, I said to Ellen, it's probably my last one. Trouble is, the quiz was cancelled. I was going to speak to Ewan this week and say, look, I think I'm done. But I haven't had a chance to see him. And I've got to give him a bit of notice. But I'm really pissed off about this. I take it as a personal slight because I thought I knew these people. You know, it's unacceptable to me. But nice of you to say so, Sean. Yes, no consumer protection. You buy it, no returns. Dion says, looking at a long holiday and if I can make it work, potentially selling up and coming over at age 46. Well, my advice to you, have you been here before? If you haven't, then make it a damn long holiday before you decide to move over here. And think long and hard about selling up. Not saying don't come over here, maybe if you've got property. Anyway, who am I to give advice? But I'd rent it out. I wouldn't sell up. Anyway, it's up to you. But yeah, come and see. Could be for you, mate. Could be for you. You know, 46 is a good age to stop if you can. It's end of time. Evening, Simon. How are things? Hello, mate. How you doing? Things are good apart from the darkness. Daniel M. Is solar a thing there? Yeah, solar's a thing. We've got solar on the house, but the landlord, it goes back into the grid. But we're talking about, he suggested a few weeks ago that it actually comes into the house, so he puts the rent up instead of selling it to the grid, and that will give us solar as a backup for the brownouts and things. But I don't know, I haven't decided yet. And so we got the generator. I'm expecting it to come on again in a minute. But yeah, solar is a thing. Quite a few people have solar. And in fact, is Wi-Fi not impacted by the brownout, or are you using 4G? No, because the brownout's local. We've got I've got a UPS on the router, an unrestricted power supply. So when it goes off, it just goes straight to the power. So the router's still got power. That will last for about 8-9 hours. So we're all right. But I'm getting hot in here. Ellen? I might just go and get a power bank and get a beer out of the fridge. Got a beer in the house. I never have beer in the house, but I got one about 3 weeks ago and it just sat there. I think I might drink it now to cool myself down. Hold on a minute. Bear with me, guys. I might fall over now. You know the charger's there. You can just plug that. You can just plug the fan in.
Oh, I'm not feeling it.
Sorry?
I'm not feeling it.
Okay. Right, there we go. Can I find this beer in the dark? Yes, I can. God, it must be at least a year and a half since I've had a Red Horse. There you go. I always say we never have beer in the house. We've got one. So I've got to get rid of it because then I can say again, we never have alcohol in the house. Not going to bother looking for a bottle opener because it's too dark. Oh God, now the dog wants to come in. Will you Adam and Eve it? Actually, I might give us more light if I... Casey, come in or not? Hello. Oh, what a night. Cheers, people. Jim Pendergrass, I had solar for 6 years now, couldn't stand brownout, so unpredictable. Yeah, if we ever built a place or bought a place over here, I'd definitely go down the solar route. I mean, we got the generator now, it's so bloody noisy. And we've actually got a scheduled brownout on a whole day one on Sunday. But that's assuming it happens. It's been scheduled for like the last 6 weeks. But just as soon as it comes to the Sunday it's supposed to come off, they then postpone it for another couple of weeks. So the last time I think it was supposed to be on the 2nd of August. Then it was postponed to the 16th of August. God knows, you might get a message tomorrow saying they postponed it again. But given the number of brownouts we've got, I think they might have to do some work. RLV, majority of big name males here operate on solar. Do they really? I did not know that. Are you sure? The reason I say that is all the moles had to... Are you sure about that? Because when this thing kicked off on the Strait of Hormuz, all the shopping malls had to open an hour later and they had to open at 11 instead of 10 or whatever to save energy because there was a shortage of fuel coming in. If they're solar, why would they have to like reduce their opening hours? They said at the time I came over at age 40, you can have a good life here if you're adaptable and patient. Same age as me, mate, except I went to Thailand. Dion, I just visited short term. I'm living in Vietnam. Nice place here. People seem a little warm in the PH. I know what you mean about the finances. I have some background, so I'm running projections. Okay. So you're living in Vietnam now at the moment, are you? Good man. Whereabouts in Vietnam and how long have you been there? I'm jealous. We like Vietnam. Hello, sweetie. I've got a little black cat, little cat licking my fingers. Adam Fente, haha, this live, always something. There is always something. Dion, I'm from London. Good to hear your accent. Reminds me of home in the old days. Yeah, well, nice, mate. Thank you very much. I'm glad to make you feel nostalgic. I get a lot of crap for my accent from the trolls. Well, they can piss off. It's end of time. Also learn the language a bit at least. Outside the cities, there's little or no English. Really? I've not really come across that. But I've not been out the cities. I'm not doubting you for 1 second. But I mean, they struggle to understand me. English isn't great here on the whole. But I've never really been to the provinces. So I'm sure... I must admit, I've made no effort to learn Visayan. I don't think I ever will. I think I'm getting too old. And I'm lazy. But how good is your... Philip, what do you speak? Tagalog? Do you speak Visayan? What? Cat, stop it. Cat is a now. I guarantee she's going to knock the camera over. Because it's dark, she's taking an interest. Whereabouts in London are you from, Dion? RLV. Cheers, Tagai and Kampai. Send the time. Gone. Okay. RLV, yep, sure, SM Robinsons are shifting to solar. Okay, there you go. Good. So they should. Net zero and all that good stuff. Buzz Videos 1130. What part of the Philippines are you at? You getting brownouts? I'm in Negros. Welcome, Buzz Video. We are in Negros, Oriental. But I think it's Cebu as well. It's the power grid. I don't know what's going on, but it's been like we've lived in it where we are now for just coming up, I think over a year now, just about a year, and we didn't have any brownouts for the first year. I think we had maybe 3, and none of them lasted more than about 10 minutes. Apart from the scheduled ones, I think we only had one of those. But the last couple of weeks, there's been problems all over the islands. It's, they're not just, we're almost bang in the city. But there seems to be a problem with the power grid. Not sure what's causing it, but it's a pain. It's a pain. When I first things have improved in the 3 years I've been in the Philippines, but they've gone back to what they used to be, it would appear, this last couple of weeks. Najana, you don't need to learn the language, they need to learn English. Well, that's a very that's a very reasonable attitude you have there. Buzz Video, LOL, same shit, brownouts. Really? I thought it was a lot better there. There you go. Is that where you are? Ilo. Ends of time, Tagalog, but just a story. There we go. I don't know how similar Tagalog and Visayan are. A lot of people, I've known various Filipinos over the years who said that they speak Visayan, but they don't speak Tagalog, and vice versa. And yet you'll see them talking to each other, and they're all laughing and joking. And I think, well, if you don't talk Visayan, how is it you're talking to people in Tagalog and everyone, you know what I mean? So I've never quite understood that. Because some languages are very similar. It's like when I lived in Sweden. Swedes and Norwegians can talk to each other. It's a different language, but you can still understand each other. I've got a Norwegian friend, Frankie, very good friend. And I can talk to him in Swedish and he understands me, and he can talk to me in Norwegian and I understand him. So it's like, it's strange. But I'm told that Versailles and Tagalog aren't like that, but I don't know. Yet to be convinced. Yeah, Iloilo get a lot of brownouts, especially Eleiko Power Company. I didn't know that. I thought one of the selling points of Eleiko was that it was selling points of Iloilo was like it was really advanced and the shopping malls and it's got all this and that. I'm surprised to hear that. You are starting to really grip my shit, doggy. I had a shower before the live. I think I might have to have another shower afterwards. Well, it's not that hot at the moment. Eleiko's your power company. We're in Eleiko 2 here. Daniel M. I was in the Philippines a couple of months ago, Central Part in Ariga, and I noticed the overhead power lines and lines and the connections like bird's nests. My word. Yeah, but you get that in a lot of places. Bangkok's like that. My God, the configurations of the cables and the wires there. It's amazing anything works. But I think that's a Southeast Asian thing. E-Rob, I think the Versailles can speak Tagalog, but Tagalog can't speak Visayan. Something like that, huh? There you go. You could well be right, mate. You could well be right. Buzz Video does have all the big shopping malls, etc., but brownout's still bad. Well, there you go. RLV, yeah, I forgot you. We should have asked you, RLV. You'll know. You're Filipino. Visayan peeps will understand talk Tagalog as against Tagalog peeps. There you go. Interesting. Wendy says, you're not dancing in the dark, you're drinking in the dark. Is it fun? It's warm. I'm not bothered about the lack of light. It's getting warmer. I might have to strip naked in a moment, Wendy. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but that would cool me. And in fact, I forgot you are exiting every 6 months or not mining the exit clearance anymore. I missed that boat, mate. I'm not worried about it anymore. Not going to exit just for that, but I'm past it now. I mean, we got back January the 4th from Vietnam, so I'm past my 6 months now. Buzz Video, that beer looks good. LOL. Yeah, I don't really drink in the house. It is nice. See, the trouble with me is I'm a social drinker. When I go out, if I drink it, but when I have a drink, I want to have another one. So I don't really have beers in the house. I've never been one to have a beer. When I lived in the UK, I always used to have red wine with my dinner. It's like a couple of glasses of wine, but here, yeah. So very rare. And so this has been sitting in the fridge for a few weeks now. But I do like Red Horse, I must admit. Because when I first got here, I drank Red Horse, but it's a bit too strong. You know, if you're driving around a scooter and things, you don't want to tempt fate. So I moved on to the San Miguel Light, and I hated that to start off with. 3 or 4 bottles of that, and I'm so gassy and doesn't taste of anything. But I've grown to like it. But my preference would always be Red Horse. But as I say, you go out and you spend a night drinking Red Horse, you shouldn't be driving afterwards. So yeah, but it has got a lot more flavour to it than the others. Henk de Jong, how often do you get brownouts there? Well, I don't know how long you've been on. I've just answered that. Very rarely where we live, up until about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And then they started, and they're very frequent. And it's not just us, it's the whole of Dumaguete. And as LV has said, I think it's the whole of Visayas, the whole of the island now, because there seems to be a problem with the main power grid in Cebu. I think it's in Cebu. Buzz Video, I don't drink at all, only when socialising once in a while. Yeah, I'm like that. I can't see the point of drinking in the house. I don't actually know how this came to be here. I'm trying to think how it came to be here. There's a story behind this. I don't know what it is. But it ended up in the fridge about 2 weeks before we went to Siquijor. And it's just sat there. Buzz Videos, London is a total mess now, mate. Has been for years. Looks like a different country. Well, I don't know. Depends where you go, mate. I last time I was back, or the second time before last, someone took me around to for a drive around Docklands and that. And my God, it's improved. You know, none of that was there when I was growing up. I mean, I know a lot of people say it's got the dogs, but it looks a hell of a lot nicer than when I grew up there, I tell you. Canary Wharf wasn't a thing then. Wendy likes a twisted tea in the evening. Well, you can't make a statement like that, Wendy, without an explanation. What in the wild, wild world of sport is a twisted tea? Now, Ellen is either walking around or there's a ghost. No, it's a ghost holding Ellen's phone, I'm not sure. Sweetie, why don't you plug in one of the fans?
I'm not feeling hot.
But I am. Buzz videos, I mean the East End, Streatham, Clapham, etc. Yeah, well, yeah. I know it's changed. Do you know many people that live there now, though? I mean, nearly everyone I grew up with and that, they've all moved out. They've all gone to Essex or Cornwall, like, you know, it's a changing demographic. Blows my mind how, you know, how London has changed. RLV, Versailles peeps must learn talk Tagalog if they want to and land jobs in the big corporations in Luzon. Wendy says, twisted tea is a drink you buy from the grocery store with 7% alcohol in it. There we go. Erob, don't buy the meat or fish after a long brownout from the locals. Erob, after. Don't really buy meat or fish from the locals. Only thing we really buy from the market, we don't go to the markets anymore. Used to go to the market when we lived in another part of the Kong where we were close to the market. But really, we get everything from the supermarket. You know, all our meats. I mean, Ellen has very occasionally got some fish from off the road. But yeah, we really do all our shopping in the supermarkets. And like things like onions and chilies and, you know, little ancillary vegetables to go to dinner. Just get them like from a stall on the road, a couple of 100 metres up there. But I hear you. Buzz video, I go to SR safer. What's SR? I'm guessing that's a supermarket. Is it like Robinson's or something? Does anyone know what SM stands for in SM miles? Don't cheat. I had it in a question in a quiz a few months ago. What does the SM stand for in SM miles? It surprised me. Does anyone know? Well, at least the UPS is working well. Adam Fente, no idea. Is it a family name like Ayala? Erob, Supermall. Buzz video, SR big retail grocery, kind of like smaller Walmart. Okay. Hedden Jong, do the Filipinos have a problem with your accent? Adam Fente, I know Ayala and Gasana are family names. Yeah, no, because the guy who's who started SM Miles, his name is SM, but it's not. It's Shoemart. Shoemart. When he first started off, it was a shoe. He sold shoes. So yeah, SM Miles is Shoemart. Shoemart Corporation, I think it is. There you go. A pointless fact. Do Filipinos have a problem with your accent? Yes, some do. A lot do. But a lot of people have a problem with my accent. A lot of Americans have a problem with our accents. With my accent. RLV, that's SR, just like Landers, like Costco. Okay. I don't think we've got an SNR here. Well, I know we haven't got an SNR here. All we've got really is we've got a LP Hyper, which is like a bit like a Costco, but I think it's local because the owners live here. They're a Chinese couple. They're friends with a friend of mine and his wife. So I know they're Chinese, but I think that's a local brand. And there's Robinsons. We've got a Robinsons mole. And there's another one called City Mole. I don't know what the supermarket is in there. Don't really go there. That's on the other side of town. It's the smallest one, so there's no need to go there. But I used to shop there when I lived in at the other side of the city. When I lived in Sibulan. Send a time. Go on, Simon. Give us a ghost story. You're literally a floating head right now. Buzz videos, rotational brownouts until 9 p.m. Is it 9 p.m? I thought it was 8 p.m. There you go. Well, that's a bastard, isn't it? But as I say, it's amazing that they don't, like, they know they're going to rotate it. Why can't they just say we're going to rotate it here or there or whatever? So I would have known there was a problem with the grid. It wasn't on their site. It's only because someone posted it on Facebook earlier on. It is extraordinary. Living life. What accent? There we go. Exactly. What accent, Sean? There you are, mate. Adam Feney, interesting shoe mark. Well, yeah. Surprised. It surprised me. Surprised. No one got the question right. I did it multiple choice. I made up a few things, but no, I don't think anyone got it. I'll tell you a ghost story then. I'll tell you a ghost story. It's not a great one, but it's a true story. When I was in the Air Force many moons ago, oh, for God's sake, those dogs drive me nuts. I was coming back from the Air Force and visiting my grandmother and my mother. My grandfather had died and my mother had moved in with my grandmother. She was kind of like caring for her. So I came back to visit them and they lived in a place called Stambourne in Essex. And when you got to Stambourne, I was seeing a girl who lived in Bishop Stortford. Sorry?
Let me finish.
What do you mean, let you finish?
Hold on.
I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what you mean, let me finish. What, you want to hear the ghost story?
Okay, you can say it now.
What?
Come on,
What?
say it now.
What, a ghost story? Okay, but can you plug the fan in? Plug the fan in and sit here, then we can have the fans on. We got a battery pack just there, which you can plug things in, but I don't want it to be rude and interrupt this thing, but Ellen can switch it on and we could be in coolness. So anyway, yeah. I used to, so anyway, I was in the Air Force and I had an ex. I was young at the time. How old would I have been? I'd have been, don't know how old I'd have been. 19, 20, maybe 18, 19. Where was I posted? I can't remember. Anyway, this is going to confuse me now. Anyway, I had a motorbike. I had a Suzuki GS125. Maybe it was just before I joined the Air Force. Because how would I, anyway, I can't remember, but it didn't matter. So anyway, I had this scooter and I had a girlfriend who lived in a place called Bishop Stortford. And my mother and grandmother were living in a place called Stambourne. And when you left Bishop Stortford, you drive all the way there.
It's noisy.
It's all right. Is this fan bothering people? It shouldn't do. I've got my noise reduction on. Turn it down to level 1. Or plug the other fan in. We'll be all right in a minute. I will get this story done. So anyway, yeah, drive back. And I was driving back about 2 o'clock in the morning. And it was a right country roads. Fuzz video says the fan's not an issue, so you can switch it back on, sweetie. Or use the other fan. We got like 3 fans in here, but that one's rattling for some reason. Yeah, it was all country roads, all whining, no lights, nothing like that. And there was a village called Finchinfield, which was one of the they say it's the prettiest village in Essex. And then other people have said it's the prettiest village in the UK, or it has won that award. But it's amazing how many villages I've lived in over the years, which are supposedly the prettiest village. Before I moved over to Thailand, to the Philippines, I was living in Burnham Market in Norfolk, and that was supposed to be the prettiest village in the world. So, they all claim the title. It's all a load of bollocks. But anyway, I was driving. I had to go through Finchinfield to get back to Stambourne, and Stambourne was about 4 miles further than on from Finchinfield. I'm losing people now I'm telling the story. They don't want to hear about ghosts. So anyway, there was a little bridge in Finchinfield which goes over the river. I think it's by a pub. I can't remember, but anyway, I'm driving back on my bike, minding my own business. I say it's about 1:30, 2 in the morning, and there's a mist has come down. It's quite misty. And then just as I'm going over the bridge, this idiot runs out in front of me and stops right in front of the bike, goes like that. I braced myself. I knew I was going to come off. And I like, you know, as you do, you're like that. And I spun the bike like that, and I would have hit him side on, but I didn't hit him. And I didn't come off the bike. I just like wobbled like that, and I slammed the brakes on. I looked back, and I couldn't see anyone. And I shouted, I think, like, you fucking idiot or something like that, you know what I mean? But it really shook me up. It really shook me up. But I couldn't see anyone on the bridge. Couldn't see anything. And then I thought, this is very weird. So anyway, I got back, got home, couldn't find my key. I did have my key, but I was so shook up from the accident, almost accident, I like banged on the window because I thought I'd forgotten my key. My mother comes up, that wakes my grandmother up, and the first thing my mother says, what's happened to you? You're as pale as a sheet. You look like you've seen a ghost. So I told them the story about what had happened. And my grandmother straight away, bless her, because she was that kind of way, she said, that was a ghost, you've seen a ghost. And I said, I haven't seen a ghost. That's a load of nonsense, you know what I mean? Don't believe in ghosts or whatever. I thought someone had just come up the pub and that was it. Anyway, I thought no more about that. I didn't give it any thought again for, I don't know, maybe 10, 11 years. And then we were down, it was actually in Cornwall. It's when my parents had moved down to Loo, just outside Loo, Saltash. Not Saltash in, at the other side of Tamar Bridge, not that Saltash that's close to Plymouth. There's another smaller Saltash, which is about 4 kilometres out, 4 miles outside Loo. And they had a couple of gay friends, Paul and, what was the other guy's name? Mark and Paul. And I say they were gay because I remember that day I got there, they messaged on the phone, they said, we're here, we're queer, we need directions. Anyway, they were a funny couple. But they'd invited them down for dinner. And we were having dinner, and he fancied himself as a psychic, Paul did. Was it Mark? I can't get their names mixed up anyway. He fancied himself as a bit of a psychic. He was into ghosts and things. And he turns around to the meal and says, so who believes in ghosts? And there were about 6 or 7 people down there, and he just killed the conversation because my family are not the kind of spiritual people, that kind of thing. So everyone kind of went quiet, thought, we're not going to talk about this. And then my mother said, tell him about the ghost you saw. And I said, I've never seen a ghost, what are you talking about? And she said, remember that time you came back from blah, blah, blah. And I said, that wasn't a ghost. And she said, well, I think it was. And I was like, well, how do you know you weren't even there? It wasn't a ghost, it was someone on the thing. So she said, well, tell Paul what happened. So I said, well, nothing happened. It was like I was driving through Finchinfield late one night. And he said, wait a minute, Finchinfield? I said, yeah. He said, on the bridge? And now it's like now, my hairs went up. He said, someone ran out in front of you on the bridge. And I was like, have you told that? And and that's a true story. Apparently someone is supposed to have died there in an accident on a, no chat, mate. Oh my God, the thing's gone off. Can no one hear me? Have I been talking for no point? No, there's still people here. I've just got a message from John saying no chat on my text. I don't know what's going on. Someone tell me if they can hear me. Because if they aren't, I've just been talking, telling a story for no reason. So anyway, yeah, it would appear that I might have seen a ghost. You can hear me, that's perfect, and yeah. So basically, well, if you could, John, I've got chat on it. It's coming up on the phone. It's coming up on the laptop. So I don't know why you ain't got it, mate. But anyway, welcome to the thing. So yeah, it would transpire, according to Paul, I suppose I'll Google it now, that there was someone, some guy who was supposed to have been killed or run over by a coach or something, you know, like a stagecoach, a couple of 100 years ago. And every so often he runs out on the bridge and tries to flag people down. And it was on a ghost tour he used to do. Because he was from Essex, and it was a tour he'd talk about it quite a lot. So make of that what you will, chaps. I don't believe in ghosts. I still don't believe I saw a ghost. But It's a hell of a coincidence, but that's what happened on that bridge. And it was literally someone ran out like that in front of me. So there you go. That's my ghost story. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I make no apologies if you didn't, you know. You forced me into telling you one. I don't really know any others. Let's get back to the chat. Ellen's got chat. John, I've got chat. I don't know why you haven't, mate. I can only apologise. I don't think there's anything I can do to fix it. Right, here we go. Erob, 30-second blackout in States, people freak out. Yeah, they do in any Western country, mate. RLV, if Simon talks slowly with locals, they will understand. There we go. Row 10 row, no one from the UK can speak proper English. PhD Professor Stafford, English language V. What does that mean, PhD? Well, there is no such thing as proper English. There is no correct way to pronounce anything. I think that's what you're getting at, but there is no right way of... Languages evolve. Buzz video, fan is not an issue. Thank you, Buzz. Living the life. Any new spots of interest open lately? Restaurants, attractions. I've fallen in love with Bahia. I do like the cocktail night up there, which is that every Friday, Saturday. Is it just Saturdays? Is it Fridays and Saturdays? Fridays and Saturdays. That's a good night out, mate. If you come back here again when you come at Christmas and you're around, we'll go there, mate. It's a damn good night. Hendonk, I agree. The UK accent is not the proper accent. What do you mean it's not the proper accent? What does that mean, it's not the proper accent? Adam Fente, I am here. Buzz video, growing up in Scotland, I have no issue following an English accent of any country. This is what has always amazed me. I have never had a problem understanding anyone speaking English anywhere in the world, ever. Some you have to listen harder than others, but, you know, never. I can understand Indians speaking English, I can understand Americans, any state, any accent, never ever had a problem. But it's amazing how many, primarily Americans, say they can't understand me, I'm not speaking English properly. And I always think, well, whose fault is that? I can understand you. Is it that my fault and my accent? Or is it that your comprehension skills aren't quite what they should be? Because, yeah, I've never, ever had a problem not being able to understand anyone who speaks English. As long as they can speak English, I mean, if it's pidgin English, you might have a few problems, but if it's just the accent, then never had a problem anywhere. Whereabouts in Scotland did you grow up? So there's a classic example. When I had a security company, I had an office up in Paisley, so and an office in Leicester, and I'd sometimes send the staff up from Leicester up to Paisley, and they'd come back and they'd say, I can't understand what they're saying. You know, I don't want to go there again, I can't understand them. I'd be like, well, what do you mean you can't understand them? I can understand them. He said, well, I just don't get the accent. I said, well, try, you know, what are you talking about? They're talking English, they've just got an accent. I never got my head around that. I know some Glaswegians, they mumble, but even then I can still understand them. Jim Pentecost, good ghost story. Thank you, Jim. I think you're just being kind, but thank you, Jim. Erob, how do grandmas know about ghosts? Clever. Navanya, I'm from Australia and can understand all English. Well, there you go. I'm glad you can, mate. I'm glad you can. I've never had an Australian. I'll tell you what makes me laugh. I've had it so many times here. People think I'm Australian. I had a guy a few months ago come to me and says, settle an argument. And I was, what's that? He said, are you from New Zealand or Australia? I'm like, neither. He said, well, why do you sound like an Australian then? John Mesters, I'm in, mate. You're late to the party tonight, mate. Did Kai Kai make it to the final or something? Alex was calling me about going up there early on. He said there was a bit of a party atmosphere, but I said I can't. I've got a live at 7 o'clock. Send the time, great story. I think the goosebumps hairs on your neck will tell you if it's a ghost or not. Well, I didn't really get him at the time, but when I told the story then, as soon as I think of Paul saying that, I got it then. When he said it that first night, I thought, that's bizarre. But there you go. Buzz videos, Edinburgh and Lancaster. It's all about listening, as Americans are lazy listeners. A generalisation, but you might be right. Erob, went to a golf driving range today in Buckalod. I think they have to pick up the balls one by one at the end of the day. That must be a pain. Are you living in Buckalod then? Still never been there. We should go one day. I've always had a feeling that Buckalod's the place for me. Don't know why. Don't know why. It's not going to be the place for me now. And what do they speak there? Tagalog. What? Ilongo. Apparently they speak Ilongo there. But when I first, I would never have heard of Dumaguete if it hadn't been for the vlogs and things, Mark and Old Dog and that. So when I decided I was coming over here, I had a little look on the map of Negros, and for some reason I saw Buckalod, and something inside me said, that's the place for you. Move to Buckalod. And I always had it in my mind that when things didn't work out here, I would go there. But I never did. And it's too late now. Maybe I would have found my fortune if I'd gone to Buckalod. But I've never met anyone here who has a good word to say about it. I know a lot of people that have lived there and they can't stand the place and would never go back, and they moved here and they're much happier. Now, that's not saying Buckalod's better than here. I'm sure if you move to Buckalod, you'll probably find a few people from Dumaguete who say the same thing. I mean, if someone loved Buckalod, they're not going to be living here, are they, if you know what I mean? So I'm not saying they're right, but the fact that I know so many people here who hated it, it's kind of put me off going there. And Ellen's never been particularly keen to go. I'd like to go on a scooter, but she doesn't want to get sunburnt. So, you know, out in the sun. So he's never gone. And it'd be quite a long drive. But there you go. RLV, PH locals are trained to communicate in American English. They hear it every day, TV, radio shows and ads. Oh yeah, I know. It's when you hear Filipino accent. I mean, Ellen, she's got a very American accent. You know, she doesn't think she has, but she does. I mean, she sounds, you can tell. I've yet to hear, mind you, we've got a very good friend, Cheryl. Cheryl. Yeah. She's married to a friend of, she's the wife of a friend of mine, Niels, and she has lived in England. Now, I don't know how long she's lived there, but the first time I met her, I thought she was Lancashire born and bred. No, Yorkshire born. She got that northern accent, she talked like that. She's the only Filipino I've ever met who's got a British accent. And it's a strong one, it really is. There you go. So there are some. Buzz Videos, worked with a load of Londoners in the 90s and had a blast with them. Glad to hear that, mate. Ant is in the house, Ant7281. My mechanic in Australia is the only guy I've struggled, and he's apparently a Geordie, but I've never had a problem with my Scottish neighbour. Yeah, I've got a Geordie friend here, Andy. I've never had a problem understanding him, but I can't remember what someone said to me the other week. They can't understand a word he says. And I was thinking, really? I think he's got a very good dialect, you know what I mean? And he's not even got a strong accent. You can understand Andrew, right, can't you?
I can understand.
You can?
Yeah, but with Alex, a little. Some.
Oh, she's saying she doesn't really understand my friend Alex. Well, he's from Suffolk.
Oh, yeah.
He's from Suffolk. So he's got a son. He's very much like, darling buds of me, you know what I mean? So that was a terrible one, wasn't it? So yeah, she struggles with him a bit. John Mesters, what was the translation of the Vice Governor's speech about bad foreigners? You said in your vlog, Ellen translated it. So what did I miss? No, well, she didn't really translate it. The point she made was she listened to it and I said, what have I missed? And what she was saying was a lot of it wasn't about us. Like, because he was quoted 800 numbers, like 800 this and that. And I was like, is that immigration things he's talking about? He wasn't. He was talking about drug abuse and that. So he was, not all was about us. And when he said foreigners, he said the problem with foreigners, when he was talking in Visayan, he was saying some foreigners. He was saying it wasn't all of them, but that was lost on the English bit. You know, so what I'm saying is he was at pains apparently when he was talking in Visayan to say it wasn't all foreigners, it was just a small percentage, etc. So it didn't sound quite as bad. But a lot of what he was talking about wasn't actually to do with, you know, the immigration issue. So he didn't miss much, mate. Rob, vacation in Buckalod, there are better places, it's nothing social. Well, apparently, it's got a huge red light district. I think it's got the 3rd or 4th biggest red light district in The Philippines. A Filipino guy told me that about a year ago when I said, what's the nightlife like there? Because he was from there. And that blew my mind. That's not really my thing. I'm not suggesting it is your thing. But apparently that's there. And a friend of mine, big American guy, Tom, when I left Sikihor, he used to live in Bacolod. He said, don't move to Dumaguete. It's a shithole. Get yourself up to Bacolod. I said, what's there? He said, fantastic nightlife. He said, it's like a blue collar area. You've got some great bars and clubs and that. You know, it's real Philippines. So I thought, that sounds good. But then other people like you are saying there's no social life there at all. So it's like, you know, I don't know what to make of it. You hear so many different things about it. Some people say it's hell on earth. Some people say there's nothing to do there. Other people say it's a party capital. You know, it's bizarre, really. I suppose it's like anywhere. It's whether you know where to go. I know it's big. I think it's like 3 or 4 times the size of Dumaguete. So I've been led to believe. Dion, is it true that there's not much nightlife in Duma? Yes, I've been living in Saigon. Some nice places in the country, but some challenges for long-term living. Geordie, wayay man. Last time I tell you what, I'll never forget it. We had an office, we bought another security company, and they had an office in, trying to think where it was now. It was up Gateshead Way. I can't remember where the actual name of the place. But I went up to meet their operations manager, and he said, do you want to get something to eat? Because they had this van outside where you get burgers and that. He said, I'll buy you a bacon butty and a cup of tea. And he went up there, and I'm sitting there watching him, and he says to the woman behind the thing, he says, guns down great with a mug of tea. And she said, way yay man. You couldn't get more Geordie. I was in stitches. Guns down great with a mug of tea. Dion, no, there is nightlife in Dumaguete. There is nightlife in Dumaguete. I'm not saying for one second that it is on a bigger scale as it is, say, in Cebu, but I much prefer the nightlife here to Cebu because it's more central. I mean, there's literally, I'd say the 3 best nightclubs in Dumaguete by a mile now are a place called the Tiki Bar and the Hides. They used to be my 2 favourites. But there's a place called Bahia, which is a really nice restaurant, which about 10 o'clock, the restaurant shuts, and then they get a DJ in that, and it turns into a nightclub. And I'd heard great things about it, but it's 400 pesos, unlimited cocktails, full of young Filipinos. We were there the other week. I had a fantastic night. And it's fantastic in the sense that it's great. I didn't want to leave there, but if you did want to leave there, you could literally, did they stamp us? Did you get stamps there?
Yeah.
They did stamp us? Yeah. I thought they just gave us armbands.
Oh, yeah,
Anyway, the point is, if you go to there's one called The Hides, you pay to get in there, you get VIP entrance to the place next door. So what I'm saying, what's great about it is you've got 3 nightclubs, all within 200 metres of each other. You get your hand stamped and you can just walk between them. You can go in and out, you know, it's fantastic. There used to be the old bar, Why Not, which was fun for a giggle, but that's burnt down. And there's other places. I mean, there's quite a few. There's a few bars that are 24 hours. There's a place, Sean went there, called Food Net, which is basically a resto bar with 24-hour drinking. But they have a DJ at the weekends at 4 or 5 in the morning. Everyone piles down there when the nightclub shuts. So, yeah, there's a nightlife here. Trouble is, most of the older generation expats won't go to these places because they're Filipino, because they're Filipino places. But yeah, it's got nightlife here, mate. I'm not saying for one second it's got as many options as Manila, but I like nightlife here. RLV, for the PH local, never is different to never. Did you know that, Ellen? What? No. Ellen didn't know that. Please expand on that. PH. PH is a local Filipino, so we rely on him for local knowledge.
Without the R, never.
He's saying never, N-E-V-A, is different to never. Adam Fente, might just be my imagination, but I'm feeling a vibe shift here in Ang. Some bad behaving foreigners the past few months. I've noticed more police on standby, especially during weekends. Really, that is one of the things that blew my mind when we went to Saigon. Because it blew my mind, you know, because I've spent a lot of time in communist countries. And, you know, one of the things about Comics Con, you get lots of people in uniform and you get lots of official characters doing stuff, you know what I mean, wandering around and doing things. And I thought it would be like that in Saigon. We didn't really see anyone in uniform, did we? On Bouvian Street. And the one guy we did see on uniform was on this gate bit where he lifted it up to let traffic out, took to the road, and he was sat there with no shoes on most of the nights. There were two of them. I don't know what they were, or they were army or what, but they were the most casual, laid-back people you've ever seen. I loved it. Sandals. It's like, you know, it was not what I was expecting. We love Vietnam. If it wasn't for the pets and Ellen's daughter being in school, we would no doubt be there now. But yeah, wonderful place. I'd think long and hard before you leave there to come here, mate, to be honest with you. So yeah, so they have police in Da Nang. They really didn't see any police. Mind you, Cambodia's a bit like that. You know, when you cross the border to go into Cambodia, there are police everywhere, but they're all looking to try and screw you on the visas, overcharge you for this and charge you for that. When you actually get to somewhere like Siem Reap, my God, you never see police anywhere. And you never see any trouble. You know, it's strange. John Messers, Adam Fente, any particular group of people? Last time I was in Pattaya, it was overrun by Indians. Is it the same in Da Nang? Ant, what the hell was that about the burger? It sounded like a problem with my motor. What was that about the burger? It sounded like a problem with my motor. Did I mention the burger? John Messers, Resto Bar is a euphemism for food net, ha ha ha. It's more like a last resort kind of place. What do you know? You've had some great times there. Don't tell me you haven't. It's, I like Foodnet. Living a life, many more uniforms in Hanoi. Really? Well, there you go. I've never been to Hanoi. I know it's supposed to be more conventional. It's more like the old Vietnam, but not been there. So there you go. Maybe it's just where we were in Saigon because it was a tourist area. Maybe it's a case of see no evil, hear no evil. They don't want to see what's going on there. Adam Fente, I'm convincing my mum and sister to come to Ho Chi Minh for Christmas. So I will likely head back there around November, December. It will be her first time in Asia. That'd be very nice for them. What a good son you are, Adam. I'm sure you'll have a great time. How long will they come for? John Mesters, back in the day, Da Nang was always a hub for younger digital nomads. Oh, and the Geordie ordering a burger. That's it. I can make sense now. I don't think he ordered a burger. I think it was a bacon buddy. But it guns down great with a mug of tea. Why, yay, man. I didn't know women said that. That's what got me about it. I know men say why, man, but I wasn't expecting, because she was about like 60, 70 years old, this woman. It's like, why, yay, man. Anyway, how are you, Ant? This brownout's gone on too long, Ellen. Can you phone someone up and sort it out, please? I always say that. I know she can't phone you up and sort it out. It's my idea of fun. I told them to get at least 2 weeks in for HEM, for Xmas and New Year's. They will love it, LOL. I was going to say, I can strongly recommend the hotel we stayed in. Mind you, it is a bit noisy at night. What? Don't?
Yeah.
Why?
It's noisy at night.
Well, earplugs. After New Year's, I will decide.
Get more, like they will turn the volume of the music during
I'm trying.
Christmas and New Year.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Well, we were there for Christmas and New Year.
I didn't go with you. What was that? When was that? On the 29th? Oh no, on the 30th. Because I was so tired.
Anyway, Ellen is talking. I don't know if you can hear Ellen, but the reason I'm starting is Ellen's talking to me. After New Year's, I will decide my plan for 2027. Well, that's the way to do it, mate. Play it by ear, be spontaneous. That's the way to do it. Don't think too far in advance. That's the way I look at things. The police guard helped me find coconut milk in a supermarket. It was funny. Where was that? In Bacolod. And I got to see the surgeon tomorrow. Apparently, I need my gallbladder out. Really? Sorry to hear that. Out completely. Do we not need a gallbladder then? What happens if they take it out? I wish you the best of luck with that. John Mesters, you got one of those random brownouts to conserve energy. Have you not got a brownout where you are then? This is not the whole of Doomagetti then, is it? It's just us, is it? They're picking on Banner Lad. It's not really what? What's not really conserving? There's no point saying something if you're not going to follow up on the thing. I'm sitting here waiting for you to say something back and then you just stop. Jim Pendergast, I wind up Nora the same way when things go wrong. Tell her to phone someone. Don't think she understands. The plastered finger. Evening all, Billy. How the devil are you? Jim Pendergast, hi, Billy. Billy's in the house. All is well with the world. Buzz Video, you need to get yourself a generator, mate. Got a generator outside. Got a generator outside, but we got the fan on that one now. The thing's plugged in. It's generator's so bloody noisy, and if this was going to be off, I'll use a generator. I'm going to go down Pulsar tomorrow and get another lead for it. But yeah, we've got a generator. But with these brownouts, you don't know how long they're going to last. They're usually only off about 10 minutes, so you don't bother. And by the time I've got it, there you go. Hallelujah, hallelujah. All is well in the world. Adam Fente, evening plastered. The plastered, nice to see someone else drinking Red Horse. Yes, been a long time. You can switch that fan off now, sweetie, if you want to. Buzz Videos, we have light. Yes, we do have light, mate. We do have light. And it's not even the 6th day. We do have light, but we only have 16 likes. I would like to think that everybody who has been sitting here listening to my ghost stories and all these other things I've done could hit the like button. We've been up to 30 at one point. There's still only 16 likes. Like me, for God's sake, like me. Ellen doesn't like me. I don't think the dog likes me, the cat likes me. But only 16 people in the world like me. John Messers, no brownout here, mate. Noreko announced they would randomly shut off power for an hour or so in different barangays, supposedly because of problems with the power supply from Mindanao. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what it is. The possibility was to be any time between 2 and 9 o'clock. But yeah, we were obviously one of those places. You have lucked out. Maybe yours will go off next, John. You still got half an hour till 9 o'clock. Hallelujah, loving this live stream, showing the true pH. Glad you are, RHL. John Messers, you look better in the dark. There are things I could say, John. There are things I could say, but I won't lower myself. Ellen seems to find it hilariously funny for some reason. I think he was talking about you, sweetie. The plaster finger, I'm good here, raining like it's South Wales, here for 4 to 5 days. Really? I mean, that's the thing about Wales. That's what blows my mind when I go back and visit the family. Because they're up in Llandilo. I know they're up in Mountain, but my God, it rains constantly. It rains constantly. And I'll say to them, like, does this rain not get you down? And they'll always tell me, oh, no, it's usually sunny. It only rains when you're here. What a lot of horseshit. I've stayed there a month at a time and it rains every day. I mean, that's why it's so lush and green. I mean, it's beautiful. It's never heavy rain. It's like a misty kind of rain, but it's constant. Buzzfinger, how long have you been married? To the lovely Ellen, we're not married, mate. We're living in sin. I've asked her many, many times, but she reckons she can't get a divorce. So, No, we're not married. RLV, thumbs up here. Thank you very much, RLV. Thumbs to you too. John Misters, I stand corrected. Power just went off here. Ha! Put that in your pipe and smoke it. That's what happens when you make comments about my looks in the light, mate. There you go. Jim Pendergrass, lunchtime. Bye for now. See you later, Jim. Thanks for playing. Enjoy your pie and mash, mate. I know you're probably not having pie and mash, but I like to imagine that you are. Here, Rob, turn the lights back off. That's not very nice, is it? Hold on a minute. Is that the fan you switched on earlier on?
Yeah.
No wonder I've been getting... I asked her to switch the fan on. She got a little fan that's been pointing at her. I've been thinking, wondering why I wasn't getting any cooler when the fan went on.
Well, it was,
Unbelievable. I couldn't see in the dark. She's literally taken the small fan and positioned it on her. So this whole time it's just been pointing at her.
in between.
When there's a big fan, the other side pointing at both of us. Unbelievable.
It's more noisy.
It doesn't matter. I've got the noise reduction on here. Adam Fenton is laughing. Plaster Finger, I believe Swansea is the wettest city in the world. Here's a trivia question for you. What is the wettest country in the world? What is the wettest country in the world based on average precipitation? Buzz Video, what food do you miss from the old country? Kebabs, mate. Kebabs. I miss Indian kebabs. You know, I mean, I miss your Turkish kebabs as well, you know, with the old doner in pita bread. But I really miss the, I mean, I was living in Leicester before I went over to Thailand. And before that, I grew up in Newham. So there's always been a big Asian community. I mean, both the areas I spent most of my life, it was majority Asian. And the benefit of that was, I love Indian food. But yeah, they call them mixed grills. And you get like, you know, shish kebab, doner meat, chicken doner, you know, all in a naan bread with chili sauce and curry sauce and salad. My God, I love that. I miss that. That's about it though, really. The rest I've learned to live without. Kebabs, definitely kebabs.
Come here.
John Mesters, who needs a generator if you have a solar power bank? Brownouts are no biggie in this house, mate. I've got solar power banks, mate. That's what we've been using. Just couldn't be bothered to get the lights out. Plastered thing. RLV, for your viewers, there's no divorce alimony here. Well, there's no divorce, is there? And just so people know, Ellen's not really married. She's single. It's just a joke. Plastered finger, Buzz, lamb. I don't lamb so much, which is strange because my parents have a sheep farm. So you think I would miss lamb because their lamb is very good. Welsh Black Mountain, best lamb you can get. But no, I miss lambs in the kebabs. But yeah, I don't really miss. Sweetie, can you let Case back in, please? Can you let Case in, please? Erob, Japan is wet. Japan may well be wet, but it's not the wettest country in the world. Doner kebabs, Greg Bakery, sausage rolls and pies. No, mate, doner kebabs, yeah, 100%. Greg's Bakery's never been a fan of Greg's. I think it's a northern thing, mate. I know they're down south now, but, you know, I do miss my pie and mash, though. Do like a bit of pie and mash. But I've got friends who would die without pie and mash. But I like it. It's nostalgic. But, you know, I'm more into Indian foods. I miss Indian food. You can't get a decent Indian in the Philippines. John Mesters, aircon is purring as always. Well, John, put that in your and smoke it. So is our brand new aircon unit, mate. Purring away. 18. Fitted last week. So there you go. I raise you too. What are you going to get me with now? I suppose your glasses work. Adam Fenty, West's country. Wait a minute. RLV reigns here in Taguig. In Taguig. Is that how you pronounce it, Ellen? Taguig? Taguig. How far is Taguig from here?
So far.
So far?
That's in Luzon. The BGC.
Oh, Tagig, you in? I didn't know you were in Luzon. Sorry, LV. I thought you were in. I thought you were on Negros. I'm not very good with geography. I didn't know Tagig was in Luzon. Buzz videos, yeah, good lamb kebab, mate. Yeah, yeah, I miss kebabs. I really do. Miss Burger King as well, which is not food from the old country, but there's no Burger King in Doom. I'm not really one for fast food, but I do like a Burger King. Adam Fente, wettest country in Southeast Asia, Indonesia or the Philippines? Might be, but it's not the wettest country in the world. It's crazy fishes in the house. Headed over to Thailand August 18th, sick and tired of dealing with rudeness in Vietnam. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I'm not sorry to go to Thailand. You might love it. I'm sorry to hear you've been dealing with rudeness in Vietnam. That really wasn't our experience. But hell, we were only there 11 nights. So I'm just a baby. I don't know shit when it comes to Vietnam. But I found the people very nice. Buzz video, I do miss a good sausage rolls and a good one fry up. Yeah, I miss a fry up. Don't get me wrong, I miss sausage rolls, but I don't think Greg ones are particularly good. I mean, that's what I don't get about Greg's. You go there, they do stuff and it's cheap, but I've been there a couple of times. Last time I was back, I got a bacon roll and a coffee from them. And maybe the coffee was very cheap. I mean, it's in there, but I've had their sausage rolls and that. I don't think they're but I suppose each to their own. You used to stuff you grow up on, you know what I mean? I've had a lot better sausage rolls than that, but maybe that's just me. Ant 7281, Brazil. No, the answer is Colombia. But you're close with Brazil. Colombia is the wettest country in the world. Colombia. But you were the closest with Brazil, Ant. Not a bad guess at all. It's crazy fish. It's been good in Vietnam, but locked and ready for the Thai smile. Don't care if it's fake, needs some warmth. Well, it's not fake in all the countries. It's fake in the tourist places. It's not fake the further north you go. How long have you been in Vietnam for, mate? John Mester's finally got the aircon working, nice. But mine works during the brownout as well. All right, you got me on that one. But I haven't got it working, mate. New one. They fit the new one. We're brand spanking new. And it's good. I had to think about that because it's all very well saying. They said the generator, I could run it off the generator, but you can't run it off the generator because you'd have to plug it in and there's nothing to plug it into. The air cons are all wired into the wall. It would be good if I could work out a way. I'm not going to take it. I've got no tools here, otherwise I could. Anyway, there we go. It's
not for the dog. We will give you some food.
Where are we now? Here, Rob, some 5 horsepower aircon run on battery backup power. Well, this is not a power. This is a 2 horsepower, mate. Got a 1 horsepower in the bedroom and a 2 horsepower in the cellar. I haven't got 5 on. That's a powerful aircon. You wouldn't have a 5 in a house like this, would you? Plaster Finger, congrats on the aircon. Thank you, Billy. I will take those congratulations. Took a while, but it got done. And Colombia is the right answer. John Mesters. Malaysia is the wettest country in Southeast Asia. Well, it may well be, but that wasn't the question, John. Is it? I'm not saying you're wrong. I've never looked into that. I know the wettest country is Colombia. Plaster Finger, wet country, Scotland. I know Scotland's cold. Is it wet? Probably is. I never really thought about that. It's crazy fish. Proper chippy chips and Atlantic cod is definitely missed. Barramundi is quite the same. Yeah, I like fish and chips, but I don't miss it. I don't miss it. I do like fish and chips. But I've had some not bad fish and chips over here, but you're right, the chips will never be the same. They're not bad at getting the fish and the batter and that over here, but you'll never get chip shop chips here. Although there is a fish and chip shop up in, what's it called, the Funky Fish up in Valencia, which claims to have the, anyway, he's an English guy, I've never been there. But he claims to, I don't know, but I find it very hard to believe you can replicate it. Ali, call your sweetie Mahal. She said, but I don't know if he's A bad thing I've just said? You said but. I'm nothing. There we go. It's crazy fish, 7 months. There we go. That's a long time, mate. Adam Fenton, it's crazy fish. I think I'm having a similar realisation. I don't want to learn the language, and unless I do, I can't assimilate into their society. Adam Fenton, but I never plan to. I will just rotate among countries as I have been. Adam Fenton, I will likely go back to PH next year until I get tired again, then go back to TH or Viet. Just tolerate each place until I get bored or tired. It's not a bad way to live your life, mate. Not a bad way to live your life. It's crazy fish. I'm in Da Nang, Adam. Whereabouts are you? Moving about is good, but can get lonely. Thai DTV is worth a crack. Well, there you go. He's in Da Nang as well. There you go. This could be the start of a beautiful friendship. You can be brothers for another mother. I suggest you two hook up. Adam is a very good chap. Lucky enough to meet Adam when we went to Vietnam. I don't know you, it's crazy, but I've got a good feeling about you. There you go. This is what this channel does. It brings people together. Adam Fenton, I'm in Da Nang as well, but people come and go so often here. I have gotten used to solo activities. Irob, 0.5 aircon, not 5. Run on battery backup. Oh, 0.5, not 5. Okay, not 5. Buzz video, AC don't run well on a generator, even a big generator. Okay. That's good to know. What is your problem, dog? Where is he? If you want to cuddle, come here. Silly creature.
Can we put that to 24?
What?
Can we put that to 24?
The cat is on the beer. Where are we going now? Adam Fenton, the apartment next to me has had 5 tenants since I came in January, LOL. What are you doing, Adam? Are you making a lot of noise? Are you forcing them out? John Messers, I run 1.5 HP mobile aircon on the power bank. Ooh, there you go. That's what John does. How do you do that then? Yours isn't wired into the wall, obviously.
Okay.
How strong is your power bank? John Messers, it takes about 1350 watts. There you go. Sean, the best fish and chips I've ever had is here in Jamaica on the beach at Alfred's, world famous. Have you been to the UK, Sean?
Yes.
Have you been to the UK?
They're off. They're fighting now.
They're playing.
Yes, never back down.
That's never back down. Be like your mother. Living life, Buzz video. John, is it split or else that one? Crazy fish can meet for a game of pickleball if you fancy it, mate. I live close to Paddle Extra. There you go. Are you a pickleball player, Adam? What's the matter with you, little dog? People wondering what I'm doing. I'm rolling the dog's head around because he's bored. It's crazy fish. There was a drug raid opposite my place last night. There is currently a 45-day crackdown. Waking up tourists at 3 a.m. in the morning is surely a breach of human rights. It's the Philippines. It's Vietnam, mate. I don't think you'll find the human rights laws are the same there as they are here. Adam Fenton or Facebook, same name, same picture. Oh, that's how they get in touch. See, we brought them together, Ellen. That's what we do. Buzz video, 11:30, splits in the sala and the bedroom. Got a Fagizenzo mobile one, has a backup during brownouts with a normal plug. A Fagizenzo. I've never heard of a Fagizenzo aircon, have you? Right, there we are. Right, well, I'll tell you what, chaps. I've been talking for 1 hour and 49 minutes. I've only got 17 likes. I think I'm going to... Look, he's just added. They've just got together. I just saw that come up on the thing. Isn't that wonderful? We have bought It's and the Fish. Ow. It's Crazy Fish and Adam Fenton together. That's what we do on this channel. So there you go, fellas. I'm going to sign off now. The animals are getting very excitable. I don't know what's wrong with them, but the cat is jumping around. The dog is doing all sorts of things. We have to, we're watching The Fall at the moment. Have anyone seen that? Great series about a serial killer. Look what's happening here. It's all coming up on the thing. I know, but it's not coming up on my laptop.
It shows now. It shows now.
Oh, we're showing now. There we go. So John, very interesting. Plaster Finger, glad I caught you. Have a great evening and week, folks. Yeah, fantastic, mate. Love to see you, Billy. All the best, brother. Mimi Bago, we love you. Well, we love you too, Mimi. You should have got involved in the conversation. You've been lurking in the background, but thanks, Mimi. Sean says cheers. John has hit the like button. It's driving me nuts here. For some reason, it doesn't come up. It's not coming up on my laptop. It's coming up on my phone. There we go. Now I've lost them all. Remember, I am the girl, but I think you are the cute. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. There you go. Thank you. I like to think you're right. You put a smile on my face. John, oops, forgot the like. Just did it. No worries, mate. RLV, sweet dreams, Simon. Sweet dreams, RLV. Cheers, mate. Have a good one, crazy. Mimi Bago, I was scared to say hello. Maybe you don't like me. Of course I like you. We are the Speaking of Asia family. Why would I not like you? Dengo Phillips. Dengo Philippines. Dengo Phillips sounds like his name. I'm struggling to read these now. Hi, I'm in Florida. Just started watching. Sorry, Dengo. We're logging off now, brother. You can rewind it back. Bloody animals are going nuts. Adam Fente, good night. Good night, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed the live. If you did, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, it would be fantastic if you did. But whether you do, whether you don't, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe and be lucky.
Come on, come here. Guys.